Deportation charges against 22-year-old Kishel Conscion, a St. Lucian national, have been dismissed. Conscion was arrested during a police operation on Monday, March 13th, following which she was charged with 3 counts of money laundering, 2 counts of attempt to commit a crime, to wit fraud by false pretense, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. The Grandance resident was arrested after a quantity of fake ATM cards, MoneyGram and Western Union transfer receipts, along with other items, were found in her possession. According to her attorney, Derek Sylvester, the St. Lucian pleaded guilty to 3 charges: fraud by false pretense, conspiracy to commit an offense, and attempt to commit an offense. Each charge carried a fine, the total of which amounted to $10,000, an amount Conscion has already repaid. As it relates to the application for deportation, her attorney says it failed as it did not meet the requirements of Section 4(1) of the Immigration Act.
If you deemed a prohibited alien, then you're liable to be deported by the magistrate. And the section is specific, it says may. So when a deportation order is filed in the court, then the magistrate ought to have a hearing to determine whether or not that person is indeed a prohibited alien pursuant to Section 4(1) of the Act. And in this case, the section that the prosecution relied on was Section 4(1) subsection D, wherein you had to serve a sentence of imprisonment, and her sentence was a fine. So she wasn't visited with a custodial sentence, hence the reason why that requirement of the law was not satisfied.
He says when dealing with deportation matters, there are certain issues to be considered.
I'm an ardent student of the law, and my position is we should abide by the law. Section 4(1) specifically gives a number of criteria from A to H for persons who are prohibited aliens. If you fit within any of those criteria, then you will be liable to be deported. And it's a discretion that the magistrate has, even if you were to fit within that criteria. So, if that is the case, and you fit within Section A, for example, if you're infirm in body or mind, then you're liable to be deported. If you're of unsound mind or mentally defective, that's B, then you're liable to be deported. So you must fit into one of the criteria of the law. And once you fit within those criteria, for example, there are other grounds. You're liable to be deported if you're a prostitute or a person who's been living on or receiving or may have lived on or received the proceeds of prostitution. You're liable to be deported if you're a person or a class of persons who are deemed by the minister on economic grounds or on account of living standards or habits to be an undesirable inhabitant of Grenada, or if you're the dependent of a prohibited alien. So all these are issues that the court must first determine which category you fall before you're deported. If you commit an offense and you're sentenced to imprisonment, then you're deemed to be an undesirable person. So all these are issues.
Meanwhile, police investigation continues into the operation. GBN News understands that several persons are assisting police with their investigation into the scam. Eugenia Peters, GBN News.